Why can some people easily do the things they want even when these things are difficult, like exercising regularly or quitting sugar or waking up at 5 a.m., while for others it's a struggle? And for those of us who do struggle with self-discipline, is there something we can do about it? Well, in this video, we'll answer both of these questions. First of all, if you struggle with self-discipline, I totally sympathize with you. I have close to zero self-discipline, and it has caused me some serious problems in my life, especially when it came to building my business. Not being disciplined can be frustrating. It can make it hard for us to achieve our goals, and because of that, we can end up feeling disappointed with ourselves and unfulfilled. And that's why I felt so relieved when I read the book The 4 Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. The 4 Tendencies is basically a framework that explains how we respond to inner and outer expectations based on our personality profile or our tendency. Outer expectations are things like deadlines, requests from other people, guidelines, rules, like think external pressure. As for inner expectations, they are the demands or the expectations we place on ourselves. Think like New Year's resolutions or building or breaking habits. So in this video, I'll first explain the 4 tendencies to help you figure out which one you are, and then I'll share a few strategies to be more disciplined for each tendency. So the 4 tendencies are the upholders, the questioners, the obligers, and the rebels. Upholders easily meet both inner and outer expectations. They are organized and reliable and have no problem meeting deadlines and following the rules. They also have no problem doing the things they know they should do even when they don't feel like it. They are innately disciplined. Their motto is, I can do the things I want to do, and I can also do the things I don't want to do. As long as they have clear intentions and clear expectations, they have no problem following through on their commitments to other people, but also to themselves. If you lack self-discipline, you're unlikely an upholder. But let's say that you are an upholder. The only thing you need to be disciplined is clarity. You need to have a clear target, like a clear goal. You need to know exactly what you need to do and how to do it. You need to have the steps or the path you need to take to get to where you want to go. The second tendency is the questioner. So questioners question all expectations. They need to know the ins and outs of a situation or a request before they can make a decision. They meet an expectation, inner or outer, if it makes sense to them, but they will resist any rule or demand that doesn't make sense or isn't justified. In the 4 tendencies, Gretchen Rubin wrote, questioners are motivated by reason, logic, and fairness. Their motto is, why this task, why this way, and why now? Basically, questioners need a good explanation to do something. For example, they wouldn't do a water fast unless they have a good reason to do it, for example, a health condition. If an action is justified, though, they will have no problem doing it. If you're watching this video, I would doubt again that you're a questioner, because questioners don't really have any problem following through on their commitments to themselves, meaning they usually have discipline. But suppose you are a questioner and you still have trouble making yourself do certain things. In that case, the solution is just to have a stronger why, a stronger reason for doing the thing. If you decide to do a water fast and you fail or quit in the middle of it, it's probably because you didn't have a good enough reason for doing it in the first place. To motivate yourself to do certain things, you need to have good information and a good reason behind it. That being said, if you lack self-discipline, you are likely or an obliger or a rebel. The third tendency is the obliger. Obligers are the larger group with 40% of the population. Obligers can easily meet outer expectations like deadlines or requests from other people, but they struggle to meet their expectations, the expectations they have for themselves. For example, an obliger who wants to lose weight will have a difficult time changing his diet if there's no external pressure pushing him to eat healthier. To meet an inner expectation, for example, losing weight, they must have external accountability. The good thing is that it's usually easy to find external accountability. They could hire a nutritionist or a health coach or subscribe to a meal plan delivery or join a group like Weight Watchers. If you are an obliger and you have difficulty achieving your goals or breaking or building habits, you can very easily solve your discipline problem with an accountability system. And once you have found an external accountability system that works for you, then you'll have no problem building breaking habits, following through on your commitments that you make to yourself, and you'll just progress much quicker in life. And now, rebels. So this tendency is a tough one. It's the smallest group with only 17% of the population, including myself. So rebels fail to meet both inner and outer expectations. They resist all forms of control, all rules, and they resist even the demand they place on themselves. They are obsessed with freedom and they value choice, self-expression, and identity. The rebel's motto is, I do what I want, when I want, and the way I want. So when we consider again the definition of self-discipline, doing the things we know we should do even when we don't feel like it, then it's obvious that the rebel is not disciplined. And if outer accountability works for obligers, it doesn't work for rebels. I've tried, didn't work. And if you are a rebel too, I totally sympathize with you because I know that it's not easy. But there's hope. Since it's my personal tendency, I have spent some time looking for strategies and solutions, and I'll be happy to share them with you. There's one thing in the book, The 4 Tendencies, that brought me a sort of relief. Rebels can do anything they want. So the key to success for rebels is to really want the thing they're trying to accomplish. To achieve any goal, it has to be important to us. Or the consequences of not doing it must be severe. And there's another thing I need to point out. Because rebels can easily fall into the trap of instant gratification, when we have an important goal, we must continually remind ourselves of our goal and why it's important to us, like every day. I'm going to give an example that's going to be easy to understand. So let's say that your goal is to lose weight, and then you go to a meeting and there are donuts on the table. As a rebel, if you like donuts, you're going to want to eat a donut. Your tendency is to do the things you feel like doing right now. So it's very important that at that moment you can remember your goal of losing weight and why it's important to you. And if that goal is more important to you than the pleasure of eating a donut in the moment, then you'll be able to say no to the donut. But if your goal is not that important, if losing the weight is not that important to you, you'll probably eat the donut. So it really depends on what's most important to you, and if you can remember in that moment that that thing is important to you. So I'm now going to give you 2 tools or 2 strategies that help me. The first one is to write my goals down. So I write my most important goals down, and I also write the reason why they are important to me. And I read them every morning and every night before going to bed. And doing this helps me be constantly reminded of my goals and why they matter to me. So that's the first thing. And the second tool, a second strategy, is very, very powerful, and it's to visualize my most important goal. So I don't visualize all my goals, I only visualize my 1 or 2 most important goals, and I have a specific process for doing that. I shared this process in a video I made titled, I think it's 5 steps to changing your identity and upgrading your life. If you're a rebel, this technique could be a game changer for you. And that's because it works at the subconscious level. So you'll sort of program your subconscious mind into remembering what your goals are and why they are important to you, and it'll be more natural to make decisions and take actions in your everyday life that are aligned with your goals and will allow you to achieve them. And you can use this technique to achieve your fitness goals, your career or business goals, your relationship goals, and even your spiritual goals. So I'll just quickly recap. Upholders are naturally disciplined. If you're an upholder, the only thing you need to follow through on your commitments is to have a clear goal, a clear target in mind, and a clear path with the exact steps you must take to get you there. If you're a questioner, you also don't have any problem being disciplined as long as what you're trying to do is justified. If you're an obliger, your discipline problem or your lack of self-discipline will be completely solved as soon as you can find an external accountability system that works for you. And if you're a rebel, well, I recommend that you write your goals down and read them every morning and every night, and also that you do the exercise in my other video that I'm going to put somewhere on the screen and also in the description below. And again, I encourage you to take the quiz if you aren't sure what tendency you are. I'm going to put the link to the quiz, the 4 tendencies quiz, in the description below so that you can take it. So that's it for me. I hope this was helpful. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't. And that's it. I wish you a beautiful day and I'll see you next week.